There's no relaxing here. Welcome. Welcome back.
Kaerhart
It
was
is.
just saying there's no relaxing here, guys.
Yeah, Sophie was like, "You've had a day to relax." I'm like, what? There's a fresh baby in the house. There's my 1-year-old nephew. My entire family's here. There's no relaxing. Anyways, welcome back to the weekly cosmic forecast. We are talking about the week of July 7th
7th
through the
through the
13th.
13th.
I got that
Great
right.
job.
I got
Great
it right.
job.
And I am one of the hosts. I'm Kaitlyn Kaerhart, and I'm a best-selling author and a numerologist and astrologer. And this is Sophie
Astrologer and spiritual guide.
and we are here to break it down for you the week ahead.
That's right, baby.
We're really excited to be here. Um, yeah, we usually do our little cosmic catch-ups. Is there anything that you want to share, Sophie, about the week that you've had?
We actually talked about how you were going to share more this week and how we were going to kick off the week with
Oh, God.
asking what's going on with you. So you've got a fresh baby, you've got your family, but what else?
The
Tell
fresh
us.
baby. By the
The
way,
fresh
that's my
baby.
nephew. Well, last week was a
A
week
nine.
9. Yeah. And it was probably one of the most emotional weeks of my life. It was really, really challenging, and I'm still kind of just processing it all. I had some like, I don't know, some like heartbreak stuff I was kind of dealing with from my previous relationship, and I was like really feeling all the feels there. And then I found out that my friend died, and about an hour after I found out he passed away, um, my sister-in-law went into labor, and then my nephew was born, and also my parents arrived. So it was probably like some of the most intense emotions I felt in such a short amount of time, and just like holding space for a lot of sadness and pain, but also like a lot of joy at the
Mm-hmm.
birth of my nephew. But it was such a roller coaster this week, and I
Mm-hmm.
felt pretty exhausted from it, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm.
And there are other things too that came up. It was just one of those wild weeks where I just had to really surrender and let go and let God. It was very painful. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
But every day I'm waking up and doing the best and feeling through the emotions. And yeah, I don't really know what to say about it. It's
Yeah. That's a lot.
I've never had a friend die like that. That was really a surprise for me.
Mm-hmm.
The only people I've ever known who have died have been a lot older and like my grandparents, but never someone who's like somewhat close in age to me. And, he was like a mentor to me for a long time in the music industry. And yeah, just it was so weird to hold this like death and birth within the same 24 hours
Mm.
and just like really like, sorry, um, just like thinking, I can't believe I'm crying. Sorry.
It's
Just,
okay. It's an emotional, I mean, that's a lot and
yeah.
it's a lot to process, it's a lot to hold, and it was in week 9, which is all about
And,
endings and
and so
grief and,
Sophie and I are also in our month 9.
double 9 whammy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess it just really just reminded me of like how it's so cliche, but just like how precious life is. Like we
hmm
really don't know when someone's gonna go.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and a reminder that with, endings, there are new beginnings, and that, and maybe that's why that, like, that's why, like, the news was stacked for you in that kind of
It
way of like,
was a
hey,
lot.
yeah. And,
Like before that even happened, I was really having a hard time with
hmm
the relationship processing, and then all of a sudden I was like, wait, what? Like, what's going on? It was just
hmm
all at once, really fast.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's important to like honor what's coming up and like you're always encouraging me like you move through it, you let it just don't shove it down because we're so good at shoving it down. And so,
Yeah.
you know, it's it's normal to feel that big overload of just intense and that's all I can describe it because I had a tough week as well and it was um we're both having tough weeks with the nine the double nine but like you said that like you just it's so overwhelming and
Yeah.
like it's almost kind of like our vessel feels like it's just bursting and so
Mm.
crying really is that release of just like emptying the vessel so thank you so much for sharing and I know that we've been really practicing trying to share more openly
Mm.
because we're living through all the stuff as well. We're living through the astrology, the numerology life, and not everything is perfect, and that's what makes this so extraordinary, this journey. Um, is not, being able to just like be real that
Mm.
sometimes life isn't the rainbows and sunshines, and that's okay. Actually, we can embrace deep emotions in a really beautiful way where we can feel held and seen. And I know our cosmic besties that are watching this love you. I love you. And we're here supporting you. We're getting through this.
Thanks.
And for someone that has gone through such a challenging week, I must say your eyeliner looks amazing. I'm like,
I like
she looks
I
pretty damn good for
I had to put the eyeliner on because I was like I look like someone like punched me in the face, I was like I need to like distract from I mean I spent a lot of the week just like in such high emotions.
mm-hmm.
What's crazy, and I want to remind y'all, is that like I think like a lot of May and a lot of June
Mm-hmm.
I was praying for my heart to be open because I felt like I had shut down and I
Mm.
felt like that really showed up in my last relationship that I wasn't as open as I um could have been. I went through a really bad breakup a couple of years ago. Sophie was there for that and and yeah, it was really rough. And I stopped making music. And so I had been praying the past few months, like, God, I just want to open my heart because I'm ready to make music. I'm ready to, like, be in the relationship that I have always dreamed of. I know I need to just open my heart. And I don't know why I thought, like, oh, it's gonna just be this beautiful, like, like the seas part, and my heart's just like, I open like a little clamshell, and there's the pearl, and it's like, I genuinely was thinking, I don't know why I didn't think, wait a minute, like, how does a heart open?
Mm.
Usually by fucking breaking, and like this
Mm.
week, it was like, I felt like, I- by the way, what I said like was occurring, that's not even all of the things that if I was to say everything else, like those are the heavy hitters, right? Like
Mm.
death, birth, breakup stuff. But I just felt like my heart completely shattered. And also my ego shattered as well in certain ways to other things that had happened. And it was just like, oh my God, of course. Of course, I was like praying, like, please, God, open my heart. And guess what?
Mm.
I was writing. I was actually making music this week for the first
Mm.
time in a long time. And like, I got what I prayed for, but like, I don't know. I've been on God's Strongest Warriors list for like a couple of years now, and I'm like, it's okay now. I feel strong enough. Thank you.
You're like,
Like,
take me off. We're
yeah,
good. You can
please
put
take me
someone else.
off your list.
Put someone else on the list, please. Okay, thank
But
you.
yeah, it's so funny. But anyways, if y'all are praying for something specific, be very clear about like
Mm-hmm.
one of my friends was praying for a miracle. She was like, I want a miracle, God. And she got pregnant on accident. And she was like,
Not
fuck.
this miracle.
Yeah, I was like, that's the biggest miracle in the world is
It is
pregnancy
actually
and life. But she was like, I'm not ready. And I'm like, well, the miracle has arrived.
arrived.
So be very careful with your words and your speech. Um,
Oh my God, thank you so much for
the
just,
reminder.
yeah, because I'm not going to be paying for that miracle for a while.
You're like,
I'm like,
oh
I'm going
my
to be
God.
so specific about my miracle.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
need to be specific. And actually, being talking about being specific, we do have a full moon this week.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I was thinking, I know we always, you know what? We always start with the numerology. Let's talk about the astrology first. I think
Oh,
that might be fun. I'm in the mood to talk about a full moon because, full moons are completion. They're like the culmination point. It's some kind of like release ending, right? And like it kind of feels like it goes with what we're talking about. And full moons usually represent the completion of what happened during the new moon in that sign. And
mm-hmm.
actually, I don't know if you've looked back yet, Sophie, but the new moon in Capricorn was December 30th. This week we have a full moon in Capricorn. I went back and there was some spicy stuff happened December 30th for me that really feels like, whoa, this makes sense. Oh my God, I know what you're thinking right now. Do you want to share?
What am I thinking?
You told me before, you're like, stop calling me out so much. Like, don't call me out like that. And I was like, okay, fine. So now I'm like, if you want to share something, you can share.
No, this is just my facial expression. Like
I
this.
don't know. Your face looks stuck right now. Are you okay? Are you having a stroke?
Sorry, I'm like, I think I was with you close to that full moon. Or that
Oh,
new moon.
yeah. So, because I was in Austin, but then I left for New Zealand December 18th.
That's why I was like, whoa, girl, for you, the New
Oh,
Zealand
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Because it's funny. I went through my calendar and there was something that happened on the new moon in Capricorn that I wrote down that was very big in my life. I don't know if I want to lay it out here right now, but it was not a vibe. It was a tough time. It was a tough day for me. So it's really interesting, just like what I had been processing about my,
Is it like
uh,
it's related to your relationship stuff, right?
yeah. And it's interesting because I really have been, I really was grieving the relationship this week. Um,
It's so interesting because we both like this full moon's coming up. The last new moon, which was back in December. Um, I believe it was December, right? You just said that.
December 30th was the new moon in Capricorn. And this week we have a full moon in Capricorn. And it's on July 10th. Let's
So,
just tell everyone because we're just kind of flowing into it now. But
yeah.
like, let's be like specific here so y'all know.
Yeah. And what's really interesting is like you're kind of coming into a place of processing a lot of the relationship stuff that happened around that new moon and Cap. And like, I wouldn't say I'm processing my relationship stuff that was happening because I don't even know what to call that. Situationship
I
is
would
what
call it a situationship.
yeah. But this individual, and I think maybe last week I was talking about having to like set boundaries and I was really sad about it. And I have been thinking about this individual a lot lately. And I'm like, why? Because we're not talking. We don't follow each other on Instagram. There's nothing here.
I think it's because that was the last guy you liked. And so you're kind of like, huh,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe something feels incomplete. I don't know. It's also really hard with relationships when you're like, I know there was something special here, even if it
Mm-hmm.
didn't play out in the
Mm-hmm.
way that you had hoped. And it's also difficult when it's like, I think that's something I've been processing is like, there was so much love between my ex and
Yeah.
and it just, like, we could have gotten it together
Yeah.
and we didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like an odd thing to process because I feel like when you're like in high school and college, like it was like you
Mm-hmm.
dated someone and you like only were with them because you liked them.
Mm-hmm.
And then you broke up with them because you didn't like them. And like that was it. It was super fucking simple and black and white. It's like
Yeah.
you weren't thinking about anything else. Like in
Uh-huh.
college, I just was like, you're hot and you're fun. Hell yeah, let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
And then the moment I was like, I don't really feel it. You just break up. And then as you get older, your relationships become so much more complicated. And then it's
Mm-hmm.
like that whole stupid cliche of love is not enough. And I hate that. But it's
Mm.
true because it requires so much more than love. And it's like, well, fuck. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot to process. Even though, listen, Capricorn's actually not about love. Sophie and I are just having a moment here.
Well, no, you know what's really interesting is we have Venus trine Pluto happening July 7th, aka tomorrow. So we're
Dude,
gonna be, yeah,
oh
girl, I
my
knew it would upset
God.
you.
Are
I'm
you kidding me?
sorry.
Because, oh my God. And this is okay. Well, I'm going to tell you off camera why this is. Oh, God damn it. Okay. Continue. Let's just
Well,
talk about the full moon and this Venus trine Pluto situation. Okay. Do you want to break down what's going on with this Capricorn full moon and what Capricorn's all about?
um, I mean, well, it's interesting because even though Capricorn is like the workaholic of the zodiac and very
Mm.
ambitious and very grounded, it's all about stability, financial stability, emotional stability, but like more about like goal setting. I feel like Cap
Mm.
energy, big Cap energy is all about goal setting. But what's really interesting is we do have this Venus trine Pluto um, phenomena flavoring this week. And so, for those of you guys that know, Venus trine Pluto, Venus is the planet of love,
And money.
relationships, and money.
Mhm.
It's trining, which means it's a positive aspect to Pluto, which is the planet of deep transformation, but deep transformation that happens through destruction. And so, and it's also the planet that represents power. And so you have this like really interesting aspect about like understanding what empowers you with love, like deep
Mm.
transformations happening with love and or money or both. And so it's almost like this like renewal, rebirth, and like transformation with love, relationships, money that's kind of flavoring this full moon Capricorn, which is more about like your goals and like goal setting and like
Mm.
completion of it could even be like you're completing something that you set out last
Ooh, I
December.
love this because actually my assistant and I have been working on something and I finally completed it. Like,
Oh,
yeah, exactly. And I'm like,
yeah.
finally, this is something we've been working on for
Mm,
months. And
mm-hmm.
so I'm going to be launching that soon. And I'm just like
Yeah.
so relieved we had a meeting this morning about it.
Ooh,
So,
I'm
yeah,
excited.
it kind of, I guess, it has to do with business, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I also want to say, like, with Venus trine Pluto, something that I've been thinking about a lot lately, and I think, like, if y'all are listening, you could use this transit to help, is like, what are the patterns that I'm trying to break and how I
Mm,
show up in my relationships? And like me reflecting back on how I showed up in my last relationship and maybe how I could have done things a little bit differently. Not
mm-hmm.
in like a way where I regret it, but just like I think it's so easy for us to look at other people and be like, well, they did this. And then if you really sit back, you're like, wait a minute, do
Mm-hmm.
I do that? Are
Mm,
they really just mirroring these things back to me? So if there are patterns that you've been trying to break around love or around money, because Venus is love and money, I feel like the 7th is a really good day for you to take action towards that and take
mm-hmm.
action towards like breaking these goals or breaking these patterns, like by doing something like maybe uncomfortable. So, like, for example, if you're really avoidant and you're just avoiding something entirely, you're like, I'm just not going to look at my bank account. I'm just not going to message this person back. I'm going to ghost them. Maybe on the 7th, you look at your bank account or you
Mm-hmm.
message the person that you've been avoiding that you know you need to say things to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, I want to note that the full moon is in a lunar mansion called Purva Ashadha. And it's interesting because that actually translates to later victory
Oh,
or like
okay.
victory later, or it's like a victorious kind of
Oh,
star.
I love this.
Yeah. And so it
Not as
really,
good as Ashleisha, though, right?
I knew you were going to say something
I had
about
to fit her in there.
that.
I
I
love
know.
her. If you're listening, Ashleisha, say something to us.
But like, so that's this really goes along like this really goes well with this like whatever seed you planted, whether it's an intention or your project you started, like you will be reaping some kind of reward for this like during this full moon of like completion. And like this one's really about aligning to your deep truth as well. And so these are kind of the two flavorings of what this full moon, in my opinion, are bringing. It's like, it's
Mm,
not just about like, oh, the goals and like that big cap energy, which is like really like kind of just very strategic, very grounded. It's more about like acknowledging like the victories that you're and the rewards that you're kind of reaping that have come later. And that's okay. And
mm,
then aligning to like your deep truth with that, whether it's in love or your or money and like or it could be both. And so I actually think that this week is really about kind of like having acknowledgement and in that sense like you form some energetic completion for yourself as well of like wow, I did that. I did it.
I love
Hmm.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it actually really goes so well with this week being a 1 week. I don't know if we've talked enough about the astrology, but this is a week 1, which is all about new beginnings and starting new projects. And also, like, the 1 is really ambitious. It's the number of the leader. So this is a really good week for you to set new goals. Like last week was like, we're clearing house, we're like clearing out our closets, like literally and metaphorically. And this week is about like, okay, cool. You made the space, you purged, you cried all week. Now what? Right? It's like now it's time to pick yourself off the ground and really just go for it. Like, what are the things that you've been thinking about starting, thinking about doing that maybe you haven't taken action on? Like during the 1 energy, like that is the best time to take action on things.
Oh, I love that. I'm so happy it's a 1 and I'm excited it's a 1.
Yeah, 1 is fresh energy and it's also the number of the self. So this is a really good week for you to really focus on yourself and really focus on like what's going on inside your world. Like we spend so much time focusing on everything outside of us and all the people around us and like the situations that are going on, or even some people are focused on the news. It's like, okay, but what about you? What's happening inside of you? And this is a great week to also like pamper yourself, right? Because the 1 is the physical self as well. So it's like, do you feel good in your body? Like, do you want to start like a new workout plan? Do you want to go get a facial? I mean, every week is a good week for a facial, in my opinion. But yeah, again, like focus on the self, focus on the new beginnings, focus on innovating, leading, like starting something new and creative. It's going to be a really creative week, which is fantastic. After the 9, right? And I love that there's that Capricorn full moon that's right in conjunction with this 1 energy. It's like, okay, full moon tends to kick things up. But again, if we can channel some of that emotional energy into creativity, like that's how we transmute it. And that's how like the best art is made. And the most like my best ideas always come when I'm like really emotional about something. And then I'm like, wait, I have an idea for something. I'm going to make an eclipse guide. Like that literally happened when I was in New Zealand back around the new moon. But anyway, sorry, I totally cut into your astrology breakdown.
No, I think
Talked
it
about
was
the
like,
numerology. We're free flowing today.
I think it aligned actually quite nicely. And I'm glad you segued because I was like, oh, that's it, folks, about this new moon. I mean, this full moon. Wow.
Full moon, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're just like, it's interesting because when we started this forecast, we were like very like regimented of like, okay, we're starting here, we're breaking down the numerology, we're breaking down the astrology. And honestly, I enjoy it a lot more when Sophie and I can just talk like a normal conversation and like shoot the shit. I don't know what you guys think. Obviously, let us know because we do want this to add so much value to your lives and to help give you an idea of what the week ahead is. But it is kind of nice when it's not so structured and it's a little bit more feminine and flowing. We're being ladies of leisure right now.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm excited for everybody. I'm so curious as to kind of like what this like what love stuff comes up for the both of us.
I'm not personally.
Why? I think that you're having these like deep transformations. Like, I think that this is like a new week. I think, I mean, Venus trine Pluto is actually a really positive transit.
At least it's trine. At least it's trining, y'all. When you hear that something is trine, usually that means positive. When you hear square, opposition, you're like, ooh, okay, there can be some tension.
For sure. And I just want to say, so last week, I think I talked about how I went on a first date and it was so fun.
Laser tag.
Yeah, no, but close.
Well,
it was
sorry.
like
Someone invited me to go on a laser tag adventure this week, and it sounded so fun, and I just couldn't make it. And I was like, damn, laser tag sounds dope. And for some reason, I thought, yeah, anyways, I know you guys
it
were
was
playing.
close. It was like a laser tag-ish kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting because I have now gone on a second date with that same guy.
Oh my God, what? You didn't tell me you went on a second date? That's
girl,
a huge
I'm
deal.
about to go on a third date. And
with this guy?
And it's so interesting because
Wait, I think you told me about this one. This was the one, oh man.
This is the Mexican American one?
Okay, yeah. That's not what I was gonna say. And then I was like, fuck. I like heard your voice in my head. Don't you dare say stuff like that in public. And I was like, okay.
But he is.
I didn't want to be Larry David. No, that's not what I was gonna say. You said something else.
Oh yeah. Well, anyways.
It was a. Oh, never mind. Okay, go.
So, anyways, it's really interesting because when you start date, like you date multiple different types of people and they treat you really differently, it really kind of puts into perspective this question of like, what do I actually really need
Yeah.
in order to feel cared for? And it really just kind of puts things in perspective. So I feel like the Sophie that is maturing and growing is like, wow, like this is great. And like, I might not be the most, this might not be my quote physical type right now, like where I'm like, oh, like you're just like so fucking hot. Um,
Oh my God, I
but
hope he does not watch this.
whatever. But like,
Oh my God. You know what though? Attraction can grow.
I'm I would rather be so attracted to you because I find your kindness so fucking hot. I would
Yeah.
rather say your kindness is so fucking hot
And your
because
effort. Effort
your
is hot.
effort is so fucking hot.
Yes.
Because guess what? At the end of the day,
Consistency.
yeah, I would rather be like, I like your effort turns me on. Like I would rather have that versus like I'm into your looks because looks fade. And so I feel like the immature Sophie was like, oh, like, but you know, it's not he's what like he's not my type looks, whatever. And I'm just like, you know what? Like the mature Sophie is like, no, you know what? Effort is really fucking hot. So
I'm
that's
proud of you.
yeah, but I'm actually really excited about like what this third date has in store. And so that is kind of my little guys, when you think about relationships, really ask yourself like what is it that you need that makes you feel really cared for? That's
Yeah.
kind of how I want to end this.
I love that.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's crazy. I really think like soul connections can really.
Well, this person's a Neptune connection, so we can talk about
Wait,
that.
for real?
Queen of Hearts. And I'm like, oh, this, I
Wait, is
don't
that
know.
your direct Neptune?
Hmm.
What? Oh my girl,
You're like, run.
run. Fucking run. Oh my God. Be very fucking careful. God, I hate that we're doing this right now on a recording, but be careful. Like, I'm never like this, y'all, except the Neptune connection,
Don't
okay?
worry, I'm talking to like four other people.
Oh
Calm
my
down.
God,
It's
I
like the only
really
the
hope
third.
he's not. But you don't know what the Neptune connection. Remember when I met my Neptune connection and I
It's
was like,
only the
la
third
la
date.
la, like, never gonna be anything. 4 years later.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, you used to call him
Mm-hmm.
the fun killer?
He's such a fun killer. I was like, God, not that guy. What a buzzkill.
Dude, every time Sophie and I would go on vacation, which was a lot,
Uh,
like we'd be like literally on a boat in Spain or Greece or something, and he would like find a way. He would know when we were having peak fun, and he would like send me some like spicy message, and we'd be like, "What?"
spicy as in nasty
Yeah,
because it was jealous and it was mean.
dude.
Anyways, I'll make sure I'm careful because I
Be
was like,
careful with the
ooh,
Neptune.
yeah, yeah.
It's cosmic love. Also, y'all, we're kind of we're referring to the connections of the destiny cards. Something Sophie and I talk a lot about
Hmm.
like when we're just not talking here, we just keep it to numerology and astrology, but we're well-versed ladies and we like to talk about it all.
Hmm.
She's a jack of diamonds, I'm a king of clubs. For y'all who actually follow the destiny cards, let us know. They're really fun. I'm still in my jack of spades period, by the way.
Oh,
I know. Till July 20th. I'm like, okay. And then guess what? Guess what I go into? Guess what?
what?
A three of hearts. I know, dude. I know. In Neptune.
Well, clear out the space.
I've
Clear out the space.
been clearing, girl.
Yeah, because the week after we go into a two, which is
Yeah.
relationships. I
And we're
don't know
in our
what.
2 year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So,
Anyways, everything is working out best case scenario. I am certain everything that
mm-hmm,
is in my life is from the creator. We are just blossoming every day in
mm-hmm.
every way. I'm gonna leave y'all with that positive note. And yeah, that's our little mantra for the week. I'll say toodles now, and I'll see y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here with your cosmic besties. We love y'all. Okay, toodles.